Hi, I'm Euge Valovirta, and this one is about. Okay, let's talk a little bit about studio monitors, studio, speakers. Many of you, my dear subscribers and viewers, have noticed and asked that why I made the switch from my previous ones to these eveaudios SC3070s. Well, they're really good. I mean, my previous monitors, they were really good, especially in their price range. But I had a little bit problems, especially on the lows and low mids, even though I use SonarWorks Sound ID reference, the microphone calibration system, so it makes the curve that it's as flat as possible. And I needed to use a sub. So first I mixed without stuff and recorded. Then when I got the sub, it made them a little bit clearer and better, because the way I said the sub was that everything below 100 Hertz was coming there, and so everything above naturally was coming from the monitors. They were two-way monitors, and it was a really good sound. I mean, I was used to them. I used them for quite a while, mixed tens of albums, hundreds of songs, my YouTube videos. I used them for recording, mixing, mastering. So I was familiar with them. And obviously I listen to music with them because I'm kind of like one monitor guy. I don't feel comfortable having many different monitors. It just confuses me, The simpler, the better. Christian Kohle from Kohle Keller Studio has praised about these. He uses these, at least actually the exact same monitors, at least on one of his control rooms at Kohle Keller Studio. I think Warren Ewart uses these, or at least have said many good things. And these are in a different price range than my previous ones. So I was really excited to try these kind of like really high quality professional monitors. I put them on. I didn't connect the sub, and I was surprised that, wow, speaker of that size, I mean, they go down, I think 35 Hertz. The low end was really clear on the low mids. I'm not a technical engineer or guy, but it's probably because they're three-way speakers, lows, mids, highs. So it was really clear. Then I tried with the sub, but I felt I don't need the sub. It was actually clearer at the low end without the sub with these. I was really like, wow. Then I, because this isn't a room in a room, my control room. I made the soundproofing, the acoustic paneling, the, acoustic things by myself. Obviously, I have measured everything that, I have a, perfect triangle here. The panels on both sides of the speakers are identical. I have bass traps and corners, thick acoustic curtain there that sucks out the sound so it's not bouncing there. I have bass traps and panels on the back and on the side wall, so it's fairly good. But there's a little bit of a bump around 100 Hertz here in this room, so it was amazingly good because it has internal DSP you can tweak. So I was able to get it like really close, like flat frequency. I measured everything. It worked really well here in my room. It's just flat and so clear. And I've gotten questions that which monitors I recommend, which are the best in this price range, on that price range, and it's like any gear. I don't think there's not like, what's the best, what's the worst, what's good, what's not. It's just personal preferences. I mean, obviously, if you use, small computer monitors, they're not good because, they are what they are. Or some brands or monitors that are designed for just to listen to music, usually they are overly hyped on highs and lows. You get the smiley face, boo, boo, boo. But those are not good for recording and mixing and mastering. So what I'm saying is that if possible, I recommend you to try out the monitors inside your room and what you feel what works best for you. what works best for me here in my room might not work the best for you in your room. But I can strongly recommend these, because this room, which isn't, like I said, a properly done control room, like room in a room, it's DIY, but I've made some pretty successful recordings and, you know, albums here, like the forthcoming Cyhra album. Well, I hope it's successful. You know the saying, the magic lies in the mid-range. That is absolutely true. And especially when I'm doing mostly rock and metal, you know, heavy distorted guitars, lots of overtones. So I really need to hear the mid-range, and especially since my goal is to make, you know, punchy mixes that has lows that aren't not muddy. You know, in metal, the kick drum is usually like, you know, bam. So if you don't hear the lows and low mix like clearly, it might make your, you know, mixes kind of muddy, and the bass guitar, you know, lower tunings. So I feel very confident with these monitors. The most important thing is that how your mix translates to other systems, because not everyone has a acoustically treated room and really high quality monitors. But as far, my mixes have translated really well in my car, in other people's, you know, systems. Sometimes I've sent mixes to different mastering engineer and they translate. So that is also really important thing, that I don't need to second guess my mixes, because it's not enough if the mix sounds good in here, in my room. It needs to sound good everywhere, or at least, well, on phone everything sounds like shit, but you know, if you listen music via phone, that's your fault, not mine. So anyway, conclusion, I can strongly recommend these if you're looking for a high quality, clear, not overly hyped studio monitors in their price range. These are really good. Hopefully you found this interesting and informative. Until next time, all the best, heavy metal.